Game resumed.
All right, guys, and welcome back to CSL March Madness. UC Davis versus Ohio State. Spawning here in the bottom right, and Ferg, I know you're just as excited as I am, is going to be the yellow Zerg player playing for UC Davis. It is Spanishiwa, and man, I have not seen this guy play in so long, but he is so good. And spawning here in the top right is going to be his Zerg opponent in the blue, representing OSU. It's going to be Kippy. So we have a ZVZ on Star Station, and I mean, Ferg, I'll just let you gush a little bit about Spanishiwa.
Yeah, I mean, before I do that, first, a huge shout out to our sponsors, NCIX and Raid Call. Of course, if you join Raid Call group 1111, or just search for Collegiate Starly, you can come chat with us. I did get a special request to make a Die Hard joke because they didn't believe me that I could. So I just like to say that in the last game, you know, the Hive lived. It's like Bruce Willis, and of course, all Protoss are like those Nordic crazy fellows who try to rob banks, but threaten to blow up the world before they rob the bank. That's actually what I learned from Heart of the Swarm storyline too. So all Tal'Darim
are
like
killing it with your
Norwegians.
jokes. That was brilliant.
Actually, it's just Die Hard trivia. So if you ever go into trivia night and John McClane is on the menu, bring me, because I know all about Die Hard, man. I love the third one the best.
Just a random fact.
Probably way too much Die Hard chat. Anyways, back to the game. It's going to be a ZVZ, and it looks like Kippy has expanded right now. And I don't know. What do you think about this on this map? You know, it's Heart of the Swarm. It's a new game. It's a new matchup here.
It is a new matchup, but not in the early game. Zerg, you know, is the only race that didn't really get any early game changes. You know, Protoss can get rushed to that Mothership Core if you'd like. You know, Terrans obviously can rush to Widow Mines, and Reapers are better. In ZVZ, I mean, you could rush to Burrow. I mean, that's about it, though. So, you know, really the biggest change that a lot of people have been talking about constantly is, of course, how good the Mutalisk is now in ZVZ. On a map like Star Station, you know, it's wide open. I'm expecting to see some aggression from one of these two guys because you have that, you know, just wide open in the center, and then the natural is pretty, you know, open. You can kind of get some Zerglings in there. It's hard to wall it off nice and simple. So, dude, I'm just excited to see Spanishiwa play, man. I mean, this was a guy that, you know, in Wings of Liberty, basically, honestly, pioneered gasless Zerg. I mean, it wasn't the exact variation that we see today, but he pioneered the whole concept of just getting queens, no gas, and just getting drones, and that's obviously all we see from Zerg players from pretty much the entire last year of Wings of Liberty. So, I mean, Spanishiwa absolutely deserves credit in pioneering that style, and I'm excited to see, you know, if he becomes active in Heart of the Swarm once again.
Wow, look at that. He already managed to pick off a drone. He just ran in with 2 Zerglings, and Kippy did not control enough. Though Kippy, now he's got 6 on the way. He did pick off those 2 initial Zerglings, but it looks like a Spine Crawler is being built here to defend. He's just going to run in with these 2 queens. Make sure there's nothing too fancy from a run-by, but it looks like it's going to be pretty even built with that initial drone. I mean, Spanishiwa's up 3 drones right now, and both players look to be building about the same right now. Speed on the way for both. Kippy's going to finish it way early. But the Baneling Nest for Spanishiwa is going to be completed just in time, so this is kind of, you know, the razor's edge of ZVZ is showing its face.
Yeah, I mean, both players just doing different variations. You know, quicker Baneling Nest versus quicker Zergling speed, quicker hatchery versus pool first. But I mean, overall, it's kind of evening out. The drone count's about the same. All the tech is looking about the same. Kippy is now throwing down a Roach Horn, whereas Spanishiwa has not yet. So that's actually the big difference right now. But I mean, in terms of their beginning build orders, it has just about evened out. So it should continue for at least a couple more minutes.
Now, I did talk a little bit with Spies, and he said the way Spanishiwa plays is, he hates to lose, but what he usually does in a situation like this where you have to play all tournament long is, or all weekend long, sorry, is he picks one build that works very good, and he's, you know, he'll customize it a little bit for each race, but he generally tries to stick with it. And he's had, let's see, it looks like he's had 2 ZVZs prior to this, and he won both of them. So I'm really excited to see what he pulls out right now, because he has a very solid build, and Kippy has not had a ZVZ so far in this tournament.
Yeah, it's funny that you mentioned, Spanishiwa, he hates to lose. Kippy loves losing. He's a huge fan.
Oh, that isn't good news.
No, that isn't good news. He's actually 2-1 in this qualifier right now, but he hasn't played a ZVZ yet. So this is his big. I mean, it's unfortunate that he hasn't played a ZVZ in the whole qualifier, and the only one he has to play against is Spanishiwa. So it's going to be a tough match, no doubt. But there's something to be said about that underdog mentality when you're going into a big matchup against somebody who is very likely better than you. You have that mentality that you really have nothing to lose because nobody's really expecting you to pull something out. So now Kippy can kind of play with full confidence. And wow, look at all of these.
Yeah, I mean, look at these spine crawlers. They're gonna try to push up the ramp right now. Wow, Spanishiwa is canceling those Bailings before they die, and oh my gosh, the Bailings are gonna do so much damage to the roaches, and there's no way this is breaking this wall right now. And I really like Spanishiwa's build. Looks like he's stockpiling gas. Bailings coming in, they're trying to get up the ramp, but it's not going to be too effective. Now the spine crawlers aren't going to be too important. There's only 2 roaches left from this entire push, and the queens are going to work right now. These spine crawlers are going to do great in terms of defense, and he has so much gas stockpiled. He has the lair. He can throw down a spire right now, but he won't have to.
Kippy GG's. So that's it. Spanishiwa is going to take it, and that means things are tied up 1-1. I mean, Spanishiwa obviously the favorite of that game. Kippy tried to be aggressive, but unfortunately Spanishiwa spotted it before it could get on his front door, and 5 spine crawlers is going to shut down any type of aggression like that. So well played, and that is going to tie things up.
Yeah, I mean, I really like that build. It saved a lot of gas for that Muta transition you were talking about. Of course, Muta is very good in ZVZ and Heart of the Swarm, but we didn't get to see it because it was not even necessary. Spanishiwa showing some amazing skill, and I'm excited now. Teams are tied up. You can go anywhere from here, and we're going into 3v3, so it's actually just gotten next level crazy. Do you want to jump directly into the next match, Chris?